Well, here I am again. Surprise, surprise. I told you I was going to try to make more videos. I didn't know I was going to actually, this one's the same afternoon as the other one I made. I decided that I would do a layout share. I went to my sister-in-law. My sister-in-law and I scrap together. We live a long ways from each other. We live like 5 hours from each other, but we scrap together, and about 3 or 4 times a year we get together and we have a long weekend of scrapping. And I mean, we scrap from early till late, and then we get up and start all over again. And so I went to her house actually over Labor Day weekend, and we had a 4-day scrap retreat, just the two of us at her house. We set up big tables in her little second living area, and we can see through to the TV. We can see outside. We're there across from each other. We just chat and talk, and my brother cooks for us and does all kinds of neat stuff, and it's just awesome. And then when she comes here, I do the same thing, and we get fast food, or I have stuff cooked up so that we're not distracted from our scrapping. And I got like 50 something pages done this time, and I build kits, and I take those kits with me, and at some point I may kind of do some of the kit building with you, but I thought I would share some of these pages. Now, as you know, I have the 6 little grandsons, 4 with my daughter, 2 with my son, and so I do a lot of the same pages because we do so much stuff together. And so I have to do pages that are very similar. A couple of the pictures may be different because I put more pictures like of my son's little boys in one picture to go in their scrapbook, but I put more pictures that have my daughter's boys in them to go in their scrapbook. And I just do 2 scrapbooks. I don't do a scrapbook for every child. I just do 2 scrapbooks. One for my son and daughter-in-law, their boys, and one for my daughter and son-in-law and their boys. And so that's just all I can do. I can't keep up with 6. So you'll see a few of those that are duplicated. Again, if it's my daughter's kiddos, their little faces will be covered. This is a fun one. I have had this frog stuff in my stash literally for years. And so here a while back, they found these frogs down at their pond on their place, and they were playing with them, and my daughter sent me pictures of them playing with these frogs, these bullfrogs. And then when they came to my house later that same day, they got out by my back door where I keep a light on all the time, and found one of my frogs that waits there every night for the bugs to come to that light. And so I got to use this stuff that literally had been in my stash for years. But here we've got them all holding their frogs. And this says, "Totally riveting, funky frogs." And I love this layout. And flying frogs. I don't know about the flying frogs. But anyway, I used some other stuff that was really old in my stash. Some of these borders, and just mixed the check with the solid, used some layers over here. These were some little stickers that were in with that funky frogs. I think that's even from that's a 4-leaf clover, but it just matched. Just a bunch of layers of different greens, and that was a fun layout to do. And I got to use something out of my longtime stash. And these are some little things, I don't even know where they came from, that I just have stuck in my journaling box, and it had a frog on it with the greens, so it just worked perfectly. This is from Mother's Day, and this is one of those that I ended up having to do 2 of because we were all together on Mother's Day. This is my clan, my son and daughter-in-law, and my daughter and son-in-law. And then one of their little boys was gone that weekend, one that they have custody of. And then my son's 2 little boys, and then their 3 of the 4. But we had a lot of fun. Every Mother's Day, my son cooks. He and my son-in-law do all this. And then you can see they're seating us at the table. They scoot our chairs in. They cook our stuff on the grill. They bring us our food. It's just amazing. They really treat us moms. And so it's a lot of fun. This one's very simple, just a couple of things. It's because it's all pictures, but I liked it. And it's on this white and gray wood grain that I really liked, and it went well with these things that had been in my stash for a while. And then this is still Mother's Day, And for Mother's Day, the boys, I had them over and we made these signs for their mothers. And so here's my daughter-in-law and her two little guys in the finished sign. And here he's sanding boards and literally, I mean, I helped him, and had the pattern and all that. And he's gluing letters on, and then we screw them on. And so here's my little Bob the Builder. Oh, I have a note on here that I have to cut out some of the tools still. So that one still has a little thing or two to do on it before it goes in the book. But, oh, and these are the cutest little, they're actually like little brads. I got them at the Scrapbook convention one year. They had these places that had these brads like for $1 a package, and a little hammer and a little wrench and a little saw. And then here's a little drill that came on a little thing of, well, they're 3D. And then this is some washi tape that I got at the Scrapbook convention, the little ruler or like, you know, measuring tape, washi tape. And I loved that. Thought it went well with this. What I do is I have some more of this paper. I'm going to cut the hammer and the saw and the screw out, and then I'll put them on top of those so that they look, and this saw, so that they look 3D. That's what my note to myself was. And this is a birthday party. At first, with these 3 older boys, we had their party all together. And this is just kind of a couple of pages from that layout because I had one for each one of them. But this was actually used at their party on a little rope banner. And so I used it in the scrapbook. And he was kind of tomater. It was around the Cars theme. And he was kind of tomater. And you can see him getting in his cake and having a big time. My daughter makes the cakes, and they're always so, so cute. I don't know if I have a little picture of here's the cake. This is another picture. This is the 3 older boys, and like their birthdays are May, June, and August. And so we had a swim party, but if you could see this cake, I'm going to try to get this up. Let me see if I can get this up where you can actually see the cake itself. There's tomato on the top, and then that is this guy. What's his name? Oh, I've gone blank. Oh, well, anyway, each one of them had one of the little Cars people that they kind of were for them. And so, and then, of course, this is the actual invitation to the party. And this is her little boy about to just dive into the cake and try to blow the candles out. They had a big time that day. And then this is a family trip that we took to my sister's house. And it was my brother, my sister-in-law, going to my sister and brother-in-law's, and then my daughter and son and all of their kiddos and husbands and wives, and then my niece and her fiance. And oh, we just had so much fun. And so they bought a home, and it has a lake on their property, and we just had so much fun. And so here are some stickers and this family. This is just from everywhere. It's just from my stash, things I've had a long time. I had found these wooden veneers, and I used them throughout these layouts. I just made the little sign to go behind this little sticker. This was in something, these field notes, so that's where I did my journaling. And I have so many pictures. You're going to see a lot of grids because there are just so many pictures. And I'm sorry. Well, I'm not sorry. I'm not going to apologize. I think scrapbooking is about the pictures. Now, I rarely scrap one picture. Sometimes I do. I do have quite a few that are scrapped with one picture, but it's usually at least 2 pictures. And in some cases, it's a lot of pictures. Because I think in 20 years from now, when they look back at these, they're going to see the pictures. They're going to want to know who it was and what the occasion was. So to me, it's the pictures and the journaling. And the decoration is just gravy. You know, you can put one picture on a page and then all of this decoration, and it looks amazing. But I just so think that years down the road, it's the pictures and who it was and what we were doing that's really important. But I love to watch those people who do those just amazing layouts. And I think, why can't I do that? And it boils down to the fact I just have too many pictures to do that. And I'm really not as creative as they are either. So here is their dock out on their lake, their little dock, and we're fishing off that lake. We had so much fun. And then they have kayaks, my son and my sister and some of my grandsons kayaking. Here's my grandson putting the fish net over the other one's head. It was just so much fun. Lake life is the good life, I'm telling you. The place they bought is just so pretty, and it's so, I mean, a whole big family can just enjoy it, and we had so much fun doing that. And then here we are, some more pictures down on the dock fishing. These are just some little perch we caught, a little bass. I don't know if I think hopefully you'll get to see some pictures of the bigger fish. Again, this has been in my stash who knows how long. I bought these little things one of the first years I think that I went to the Scrapbook convention. I got to use them. These are just some stickers that fishing lures and things. But again, the grid, just because I have so many pictures that I want on here. And I actually fussy cut this out of something, but it's been in my stash forever. I'd give anything if my husband was still alive, because he was just a master fisherman, and he would have these boys fishing, and that doesn't look like him at all, but it would have been cute to have a picture of him on this page with those kiddos fishing. Still some more pictures from that trip. I just made this sign. I had some of that kind of corrugated paper, so I just cut it like posts and then used my ink dauber and just kind of smudged it up, used a sticker with the fishing pole, hung a hat on there, put the greenery that actually came with these little fish I put over here on the sign. And then this was just a cut apart from something, and so I tore it out and made it look like the sign, and then just layers of different colors or different greens and behind the pictures in here. Pretty simple, but I liked it. Then my daughter, she's really good. Like when we go on vacation, she buys things for the kiddos to do at night so that we can play games. We like to play dominoes and just different types of games. And so she had bought these constructor sets for the kids to do, for the boys to do. And it said like 8 years old. Well, we've got 2 7-year-olds, almost, well, 8-year-olds, and one fixing to be 9, and then the 2 younger ones, but especially one of the younger ones is just so good with Legos. We thought, oh, that'd be great for them. Well, when we got them opened up, they had about 10,000 parts, and this is all the adults sitting around trying to put those together. We literally, I can't even tell you how many degrees are sitting around these tables trying to help these kids. I have part of my doctorate. My daughter-in-law and my daughter both have their masters. My son and my sister-in-law, my niece's husband and my brother-in-law, well, my brother-in-law and my niece's fiance are both engineers. My brother is the most he has a couple of different degrees and certification things that he is the most mechanical person I know. I mean, I can't even tell you all the certificates and degrees that we had sitting around this table, and we like to never got those things put together. Needless to say, we didn't get any games in. And so the title, seriously, is really it. And I wish I didn't have to cover his face, because his face just said it. It was like, oh my goodness, what have we gotten into? And then it finally just got to be, you know, a laugh. And we finally got in one game of dominoes. The little town by where they live has an amazing fruit and vegetable market. And so we went to that. This is my son and daughter-in-law with the goodies that they bought. But it has an ice cream shop in it where they make their own homemade ice cream from the fresh fruits. And it is awesome. There's a park nearby, that's why they're playing. But here's one of the pictures with them and the ice cream that they had on the little guy that is out front. But this is the cute one. This again, I think I mentioned in an earlier video, I sometimes get kits from a kit club called Treasure Box, and this was some stuff that was in one of those kits, and then I put it together, not like they had done it, but using the stuff from it. And like I said, I often have to make 2 layouts that are basically the same, and so this is actually kind of a copy. So I just kind of improvised from the other one to make another one. But those boys were so funny with that ice cream. They loved Graham's Market. Was the name of that place. Such good ice cream. And then on their property, they've got a company working on the dam to their lake, and there happened to be this huge excavator parked back there. And oh my goodness, it didn't matter. Nothing else mattered that weekend except that excavator to these boys. And I didn't get faces covered in that one, so I need to put it over. But we actually posed for our family picture at that excavator because the boys loved it so much. This is a layout that is just precious to me. On my son and daughter-in-law's property, they have like 55 acres. There is this huge mulberry tree, and they call it the Berry Fort. And they climb that tree and they play in that tree. So this is some stuff from one of the kits that I had. The kite hung in the tree, the tire hanging from the tree, and then these are just my little paper dolls from the paper doll crickets. But these boys, oh, they love that tree, and they climb in it, and it's just the neatest tree. And they call it the Berry Fort. Here's some more pictures with the other side of that little tree, and they don't actually have a fort built in it. You don't need to. The tree makes the fort. But look at that gorgeous tree. Isn't that gorgeous? Love it, love it. Now, I think I've mentioned painted pages. This is not a layout like I normally make. It's just not really me, but I kind of enjoyed it. This is a Mother's Day layout. I did one for my daughter and one for my daughter-in-law. Most years at church, I write a poem or something, and we make something and give to all the mothers. And this was 2018, and this was the card that we made, handmade, and gave all the women. And it says, "Her children will rise up and call her blessed," which is Proverbs 31:28. And then the poem that I wrote was, "Why Children Love Their Moms." Children love their moms so much, not just because she makes them cookies and such, but because she lights their way every day. She bundles them up to go out to play. She tucks them in and teaches them how to pray. She believes in them and never turns away. She calms their fears and whispers, "I love you," in their ears. She patches their skinned knees and even their broken heart, gives them courage to make a brand new start. She is their rock, their defender, comforter, and friend. They know her faithfulness will never end. So that was the poem that we put in there that I wrote that year. And so I took a picture of her boys out there by my roses. But these are those painted pages. And you get them and you cut them apart and you cut them into strips. There's just so much you can do with them. And I'm going to show you some more of those painted pages. But this was some stuff from some of those painted pages that we got. This is also painted pages, the fire. And I had gotten this like the year before and didn't know how to use it. Didn't know how in the world I was going to use it. And so cut that apart, put it with this little strip from a piece of paper that had campfires on it. This is a piece of that wood veneer. Remember those fish over there? Well, this is wood veneer that came with them. This is a picture of the campfire and that we were roasting marshmallows over at my sister's, and I just cut it out and popped it up on foam tape over where the fire is in this picture. And silly people eating their roasted marshmallows there. This is a picture right after my little nephew was born. Used a bow and some little cut aparts and some things from just a lot of different stuff in our stash. And some little border things, a star, a scallop that I cut out of something, just to put that in just a little piece of paper stuck in under there. These are the pajamas that I made for his dad to come home from the hospital in. And so he wore them. He was about to outgrow them there when we finally got the picture with them in it. But just a fun, sweet little page of when he wasn't very old. This is a picture from where we went to Fort Worth Rodeo. This is one of those painted pages that I was talking about. So all I did was just add the rope on top of it and some embellishments that I added to it, the boots. This was actually an envelope that was already like that, and I just edged it with the brown ink and put it on there. But I mean, with those painted pages, it just doesn't take much. I cut it down and put the outside border on it just to kind of frame it in a little bit. This is bath time. I have two of these. This is my daughter's next to the youngest one, and then my son's youngest one. These little cut aparts are they're actually little chipboard things. I bought the very first year we went to the Scrapbook convention. It was just this packet of ephemera. They didn't call it ephemera then, of these little cutout things. And I bet there were 100 things or more in it. And I have used and used and used and used those. And then this picture I love. So I had this little thing that who knows where it came from. Peas in a pod. That's my daughter's three oldest ones that were actually asleep in this big chair all at one time, which is very unusual in that day when he was that little. And then him, of course, in his bath. And then this is the same layout, just done in different colors, of my son and daughter-in-law's youngest little guy. And this is just a little embellishment pack I think I got at Hobby Lobby. And this, I don't know how old this is. It was just edges, and I cut it apart to make like the shower curtain ruffle, just kind of that old, to give it an old-fashioned kind of look on both of these. Halloween, this was Halloween 2013. It was this one's first Halloween. Every year at Halloween, my daughter, we had bought Buzz Lightyear the year that the oldest one was his first Halloween. And so every year, the youngest, their first Halloween, they were Buzz Lightyear. And so this year, she had them all being the characters from Toy Story. And so here's Woody, and the oldest one was Woody, and he was Buzz Lightyear. And I don't even remember what the other one was. I may have a picture here in a minute of him. And I don't know. Oh, that is him. That's his sign. Oh, sorry. There were just two of them. So it's his year to be Buzz Lightyear that year. But the striped paper with this edging already on it, and then just the layers in the background, and then of course the little sticker pack. And this is one of those that, like I said, came in that package the very first year, and so I wrote Buzz Lightyear on him and put him on there. This is some of the same pictures, but this one goes to the other scrapbook, but I just couldn't miss that picture of that little sweetie. But again, just layers, some pumpkins from sticker packs. These are some clear stickers that really do neat because it gives you your writing on there. But this was Halloween 2013. This is that same Halloween. I had a lot of pictures that year. We don't seem to do that many pictures, I don't think, anymore. But we were at a trunk or treat at the high school, and there's Woody again. And this is out actually trick-or-treating. And this, he was old enough to really enjoy and have fun that year. And then this is, I think the next year, 2014, I believe. And they all dressed up as little construction guys for it. And here he is. Yeah, this is 2014. He's at the pumpkin patch. This was the year that my husband passed away in October, and a friend of ours had him that day and took him, I think we were at the hospital, and took him to the pumpkin patch. And his little picture. But here they are, all dressed up, actually Halloween night. And I found this little pack. It had this, and it had that little drill you saw a while ago, and several things. So I bought two of those so I could do one for each of their scrapbooks. This is just from a piece of scrapbook paper to cut apart to make a thing for my journaling, some layers. This was a little pumpkin little holder. It was deep, and they had put some candy in it that they made at their Mother's Day out, and so I just took them apart and used them as the as decoration on this page. And we got their little aprons at Home Depot, and then of course just their little hats, but they look so cute. And then this is an Easter. These are some of those painted pages things I keep telling you about. These eggs were all on the page, these flowers, this grass, this Happy Easter family, all, and this flower, these that I tucked in, these were all on those pages. And then all I did was just map my pictures and put a couple of layers and then cut those apart and fussy cut those and put them in here to make that page, and I love it. This was one of my, I just loved that page of those painted pages. This is another one, not much on this one because I had so many pictures, but again, I just cut some of those flowers and tucked them in the holiday. But that's that companion page. This is the same Easter, but this is at our church event where we had our church Easter egg hunt, and they're decorating cookies, and he won a prize for something. I think it was just a drawing, but here's more of those egg cut apart. This card is a cut apart, so that's where I did my journaling, and then added the egg to it and some flowers and a banner. But I love, and that laughter, all of that. This is our first family reunion, and I actually don't have this quite finished because I'm going to do, if you see, I bought some clear numbers at the Scrapbook convention, just this page that has tons and tons and tons of these clear numbers. Like I said, sometimes I just have so many pictures that I want to scrap. I mean, this was a family reunion. I wanted everybody in it, but I didn't want 10 pages in the scrapbook. And so I made a grid and I numbered the pictures. And then this is old, and this was some from a cut apart, and these were some vellum titles, Let's Get Together. And so I numbered my pictures. Here's the second page of it, our first family reunion. And then I'm going to type the journaling down here, and I'm going to put the numbers of the pictures and who is in that picture, because I had to stop and think about who some of these were in these pictures. So that's quite a few pages. It's not all the pages that I did, but like I said, some of them are duplicates, but we had a big time scrapping, and we do that about 3 or 4 times a year. And so I hope you enjoyed some of the layouts, maybe got some ideas, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for joining me, because there are no rules in scrapbooking.